Welcome back to my channel at natassiar1. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about cheat meals and why I don't believe in them personally. Look, everyone talks about cheat meals or cheat day, but to be honest with you, it's not sustainable and it actually does more harm than any good. So stick around as I give some tips as to how you can look at alternative ways to have your cake and eat it too. Well, I think the first question is, what is a cheat meal? So a cheat meal generally is defined as a meal where you can actually have one of your favorite fattening foods if you've been really good on your diet and fitness regime for the whole week or whole month, right? The reason why I have a problem with that is that it's not sustainable. For me, my personal view, and I've battled obesity as a lifelong journey since the age of 13. I lost 50 kgs in 6 months and I know what works for me. And that's what I'm going to start off with is find out what works for you, okay? So, a cheat meal promotes a lot of binge eating. So you don't want to be in a situation where you haven't eaten chocolate for, let's say, a week or a month. And the moment you see a piece of chocolate in front of you, you're going to go buck wild. So I think there's a fine line and it's very scary when you deprive yourself. So the first rule for me as to how to look at alternative ways in terms of cheat meals is number one, don't deprive yourself. If you want a piece of chocolate or you're craving a chocolate cookie or whatever it is, get a small piece, have a side plate of a mac and cheese or a burger and chips or a piece of that chocolate and incorporate it into your daily diet or weekly diet. I find that by not depriving yourself, you actually stick to your health regime and it forms part of your whole calorific portfolio and you're still losing weight and you're still burning fat. Even though you're having that small piece of chocolate, even though you're having that mac and cheese, maybe add a salad to it instead of all the other fattening sides. So my first point is don't deprive yourself. Number two, cheat meals are not sustainable. As I mentioned previously, for example, if you're craving something and you see it after a couple of weeks or a couple of months after having like withdrawal symptoms, you're going to go buck wild. You're going to start binge eating. I used to do that. So I wouldn't eat chocolate or cake. I love cake. Cake is one of my weaknesses. And so what I would do is once I see a piece of cake, I wouldn't be able to stop at one slice. I would go for the whole cake. It's crazy, but my point is cheat meals for me personally doesn't work, and for some of the people who I've helped to lose weight, it's the same process. And they agree with me. Rather have a small piece of what you want, when you want it, and you feel like you're not missing out or not having any FOMO, and it's actually more sustainable. You will lose weight whilst you are eating the little cheat meals. A lot of the topics that I talk about is around the reason as to why you actually look for junk food or comfort food, the emotional issues. Now, I've studied psychology, and one of the issues that you find is that sometimes people like myself used to use food or other mechanisms to soothe the emotional voids you have in your life. So, cheat meals might make you happy for that moment, but that cheat meal turns into a cheat day. That cheat day turns into a cheat week. And then the cycle begins. You're back at square one, you're feeling guilty, you feel like shit, you feel like a slob, and you need to begin your health and fitness journey. And it just becomes 10 times more harder to get in the best mental shape and physical shape that you need to be in. So I don't believe in cheat meals because it could be a substitute or trying to fill a void in your life with those cheat meals. And I think if you do have those issues, it's just going to spiral out of control. Cheat meals have such a bad negative connotation to it. It's like you're doing something bad, cheating, right? Like on a relationship. Cheat has such a negative tone to it that I think it does impact your mental well-being in terms of your fitness and health journey. If you're obese, you do not need a cheat meal right now. You need a snack. You need a good snack. If you're craving chocolate, I'll give you dark chocolate. If you want that mac and cheese, you will have a small piece of it. But cheat meal just feels like you're cheating on your diet, on your goals, on your wellness journey, and it doesn't add to your health journey. It doesn't add to your well-being. It doesn't add to anything. It's just empty calories. It's not nourishing your body. It's not building your body or your immune system up. It's not giving you the vital vitamins and oxidants that you need. So I don't believe in cheat meals, and that's what worked for me for the last 20 years of my fitness journey. I've had ups, I've had downs. I've gained 20, lost 20, lost 50 kgs, gained 10. I've struggled my whole life with this. So this is something from an honest place that if you want to eat something and you're craving it, go for it. But please don't go overboard, and don't do the cheat meal and cheat day option. I mean, if it works for you, great. But for someone like me who's had yo-yo weight fluctuations her whole life, it didn't work. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a piece of why I don't believe in cheat meals, some tips as to the alternatives. If you crave something, go for it. Have a small piece of it, incorporate it into your daily diet. And I hope these tips have helped you.